It is Tip of the Cap Friday here at Sports Talk ATL. It's a little segment. It's my segment where I tip the cap. Basically, I gives guys props around the league, around sports leagues, or if my take was right, I point it out. If my take was wrong, I also pointed out. I'm a fair, equal guy. And this week is very special because we're going to start off with the Braves and Alex Anthopoulos. Not a lot of news recently. We've been all about the Falcons head coaching search, but that's why we have to sit here and tip our hat to Alex Anthopoulos and the Braves organization because it's a first-class organization, top to bottom. We're perennial World Series contenders. We're going to be for the next decade, and it's because of Alex Anthopoulos and the way Liberty Media lets him run his organization the right way because the Falcons, Arthur Blank, he does not run his organization the right way. He talks about Art Rooney and the Steelers and how he wants to be them and Robert Kraft and the Patriot way. Well, buddy, take a page out of their book and maybe learn from the guy down the street. All you got to do is look down the street and look at Alex Anthopoulos and the Braves. Tip of the cap to the Braves. Thank goodness we have them because the Falcons and Hawks are absolutely depressing. Next, I have to tip of the cap to the Lions. I've not been to the NFC Championship game since 1991. That fan base has been starving for some semblance of success, and they finally get it this year. They travel west to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, though I don't think they are going to win. If the San Francisco 49ers show up like they did last week against Green Bay, we could be seeing Detroit in the Super Bowl. They absolutely deserve all the praise. They're pretty much America's sweetheart. And if I had to pick a Super Bowl, the Lions would certainly be it. Now, to finish it off, tip of the hat to Raheem Morris. He was just named Falcons head coach, and I know I begin the segment with kind of crapping on Arthur Blank and the Falcons. I want to, kind of redirect your anger here. I believe in Raheem Morris. He deserves a fair shake. He deserves a shot. He's a very qualified candidate. I think he's going to be a good head coach if the Falcons can figure out the quarterback position. My problem stems from Arthur Blank. It has nothing to do with Raheem Morris. I think he's going to be a good head coach. I think he's going to fit in well. I think Falcons fans, if you haven't come around on Raheem Morris, once you hear him start talking at the podium, you're going to love the guy. Tip of the hat, long overdue. He gets his second gig as a head coach, and he's a first Falcons black head coach. I know he was an intern, but this is a full-time. What do you think, Jace?
Listen. Shout out to the Braves for keeping me sane. I mean, shout out to Raheem Morris for being the next Atlanta Falcons head coach. I know we took a dump on the Falcons for most of the show, but as we said, as we always continually preface, this is not Raheem Morris's fault that we have this kind of anger. That anger should be directed at ownership. That anger should be directed at the structure that they have had over the last several years in Rich McKay, and whether you believe that he's truly out of it. Obviously, we talked about that earlier in the show. And shout out to the Detroit Lions, baby. I mean, listen, Ben Johnson, it's kind of wild. I mean, you talk about there's only 2 openings left. So I know the Commanders have been the favorite for Ben Johnson this entire time. So maybe that's already a foregone conclusion. And maybe that's why the Falcons felt like it was time to just go ahead, jump the gun, and hire Raheem Morris. But I'm excited to see that Lions offense against the 49ers. I'm excited to see both of this week's games. You could tip of the cap to everyone involved because I dream of being in an NFC championship someday again. I dream of it.
Yeah, when was the last time we were there? 2016. Back in 2016 was the last game in the Georgia Dome. The Falcons absolutely throttled my Packers. At the time, they were my Packers. They're my Falcons now. And I really jumped ship at the absolute worst time. I started working for Chase Sports Talk ATL around that time, around 2018. And I have not seen a winning season since I started working at Sports Talk ATL. Raheem Morris, please, we just need one winning season.
You're right. I mean, I don't know why I said an NFC championship. I'm dreaming about a wild card round, baby. Like, just give me something. I mean, even me, when I started doing the site full time in about 2018, 2019, I mean, we haven't been to the playoffs. I mean, we really haven't even been close, frankly. This was the first year we had a chance going into the last game of the season. And we're talking about a team that went 7-10. So it has been a disgusting run. That is why we are all frustrated. I hope if you're a Falcons fan and you watch this entire episode, we were able to serve as a vent session for you. And whether you agree or not, we're all in this together, and we will be supporting Raheem Morris. That wraps up our show. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week.